The House of Rep was established in 1951. Please take notes. The House of Senate was established in 1957. The House of Senate was established in 1957 and started operation in 1960. That's number 2. Number 2. The third one, now, Nigeria became 12 states in 1967. Nigeria became 12 states in 1967. Nigeria became 19 states in 1976. 1967. Nigeria became 19 states in 1976. Are you there? You know, I told you in the last part that the theory of the rule of law was introduced by Professor Albert Van Dyson in which year? 1885. Exactly. Nigeria became 30 states in 1991. Nigeria became 30 states in 1991. The Berlin Conference that I mentioned is in which year is the Berlin Conference? I can't hear you. 1884/1885. Okay. So I made mention of the fact that the first political party was formed in 1923. That's NNDP. Was formed. Let's try. The first British administrator in Nigeria is Mr. Stanley Freeman. First British administrator in Nigeria is Mr. Stanley Freeman. He was appointed in 1862. First British administrator in Nigeria is Mr. Stanley Freeman and was appointed in 1862. Mr. Stanley Freeman. Then prior to that, I said that the first coup in Africa took place in Egypt. And then the first in West Africa is in Togo, 1963. So Mr. Stanley Freeman was appointed the first British administrator in Nigeria in 1862. Is that clear, please? The judiciary was established in 1925. The judiciary was as an organ of government was established in 1925. Is that clear? The executive was established in 1922. The executive as an organ of government was established in 1922. While the legislature was established in 1914. Was established in 1914. I hope that's clear, please. Okay, full stop. The oldest constitution in the world is the American Constitution. I mentioned that last week already. Hope you can remember. Germany adopted the policy of paternalism. Germany adopted the policy of paternalism. Germany and Belgium adopted the policy of paternalism. That is after the Berlin Conference. Paternalism. We are still going to explain that. The British adopted the indirect rule system. Germany and Belgium adopted the policy of paternalism. The British adopted indirect rule system. British adopted indirect rule system, while France, they're not writing. He said? We wrote that last week. Okay, what else? How many now? Now, which constitution introduced elective principle? Which constitution introduced elective principle? Clever Constitution of 1922. What's wrong with that? So I said ECOWAS was established in May 28, 1975 in Lagos, Nigeria. Introduced elective principle. So African Court of Justice have 21 members. Write that down. 1922. African Court of Justice have 21 members. African Court of Justice have 21 members. America is the highest buyer of oil. America is the highest buyer of oil. America is the highest buyer of oil. You can write this down. The first referendum took place in Nigeria in 1959. The first referendum took place in Nigeria in 1959. So referendum, you may not know the meaning, is an election conducted to determine the public view on a particular government proposal or policy. So the first referendum took place in Nigeria in 1959. I don't know if you have heard of the word political jingoism. When you try to destroy the image of a political party because you want to gain people's support. Jingoism. What I say? Yes. Political jingoism. Do we have any question? Jingoism. Jingoism. Is that clear? Okay, USA, Nigeria, India, France, and China practice written constitution. USA, Nigeria, France, India, and China, they have written constitution. We have written constitution. USA, Nigeria, France, China, and India, written constitution. While countries that have a written constitution, Britain, New Zealand, Australia. Britain, New Zealand, Australia, they have unwritten constitution. So I'm going to stop here, but I can add this one to it. The first time Nigeria had a uniform local government, the first time Nigeria had a uniform local government was in 1976. The first time Nigeria had a uniform local government was in 1976. Is that clear? So did I tell you anything about the military coup in Nigeria? So I said that League of Nations was formed in which year? 1919. UNO, hold on please. League of Nations 1919. I don't know if you have written that down. League of Nations 1919, UNO 1945. You can write this down. The Hague system 1885. The Hague system. The Hague system 1885. 1885. I mentioned the Hague when I mentioned the International Court of Justice. The International Court of Justice has, yes, Hague system 1885. So I was actually trying to say something about the coups in Nigeria. The first coup is 15 January 1996. Was led by Kesin Zeogu. The second is same year by Yakubu Gowon. The third is Muritala Mohammed, Bukasuka Dimka, Buhari, IBB, before it get to Abacha, Diyan, and the like.